Tonight, tragedy in the north.
They were manipulated and lied to, saying that that was alcohol.
A man is dead and a family is demanding answers after they say he was given a toxic substance and told it was alcohol. Also tonight, problem solved, or is it?
I am extremely concerned that this creates a dangerous precedent.
Why a decision on the future of Granite Curling Club's parking lot may leave more questions than answers. Plus,
I'm Daniel Halmerson, coming up the sights and sounds from on and off the field at the 112th Grey Cup.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Marilee Caruso.
good evening. Thanks for joining us. Tragedy has taken a young man away from a northern First Nation. Mounties say a 20-year-old died Sunday from consuming a liquid substance, and tonight his sister is speaking out. CTV's Harrison Shin spoke with her and joins us now live. Harrison, what happened here?
Marilee, RCMP say a man is dead and another dozen required medical treatment after they consumed a liquid substance in God's Lake First Nation. Pamela Chubb says her brother Lance Chubb rarely drank. She said he and his friends would occasionally get together and buy alcohol. The 20-year-old was a powwow singer and looking forward to his future.
He's a really good kid. He doesn't do drugs or anything. He doesn't drink every day. Like, he was a well-known person. Like, he's a good kid. He was supposed to graduate next year, and he was already planning on where to go, university or college.
It happened in God's Lake Narrows, a dry reserve about 1,000 kilometers northeast of Winnipeg. Mounties confirmed they were dispatched to the local nursing station after a First Nation safety officer reported a 20-year-old was brought in after drinking what they called a liquid substance. They say he died and 2 others flown into Health Sciences Center because of the liquid. And there are possibly 10 others as well who needed treatment and were released. Pamela said she believes her brother and the others drank windshield wiper fluid sold to them as smuggled in alcohol. Pamela added that the First Nations leadership works hard to keep alcohol and drugs out, but smugglers and sellers are bringing in alcohol anyway and using different containers to avoid detection.
Harrison, do we know who provided this liquid?
Well, police say the person who provided the substance has been identified and the substance container was seized for analysis. They did not confirm it was windshield wiper fluid. We reached out to RCMP asking if there are any charges laid. We're waiting for a response.
All right, thanks for this, Harrison. An 18-year-old man has died from injuries suffered in a Transcona house fire Saturday. Take a look at this video. It was submitted to us by a CTV News viewer and shows the back of the house when the fire engulfed it. It happened just before 7:30 Saturday morning. A fire took over a house at 214 Yale Avenue West. Heavy smoke and flames were seen pouring from it when firefighters arrived. 4 people were taken to hospital, 3 of them in stable condition. The fire was declared under control less than an hour later. Police say investigators from the Major Crimes Unit are investigating. No charges have been laid. And that wasn't the only fatal fire this weekend. RCMP say a call came in around 2 Saturday morning about a fire on Main Street North in Barons River First Nation. Once the flames were extinguished, first responders found the remains of 1 person inside. RCMP are now waiting on the results of an autopsy, but say the fire does not appear to be criminal. An investigation is ongoing. Manitoba's municipal board has sided with Granite Curling Club over a parking spat with the city. The board says the city has to come up with an adequate parking plan before green lighting and affordable housing building for a lot used by Granite. And while the club is pleased with the ruling, tonight there are concerns this puts the housing project on thin ice. With more on this, CTV's Jeff Keel joins us now live. So Jeff, where is this parking lot?
It's this parking lot here on the west side behind the curling club. Now, the club says that the 45 spots that would be lost here are crucial to the operation of the curling rink, but the city's property and development chair says this decision shows that parking spots are more important than housing people.
The Granite Curling Club has scored a victory in its parking dispute with the City of Winnipeg, putting the future of an affordable housing project in question.
It provides us assurance that they do have to work with us in good faith.
Apparently, parking spots are more important than housing people.
The Granite challenged the city's plan to subdivide the property for an 11-story, 110-unit building on this west parking lot used by the club. The municipal board determined the city must first develop an adequate parking plan to support the operations of the club. The board stresses that the use of the word adequate in recommendation number 4 means a parking plan that is reasonable and negotiated in good faith by the city and the Granite Curling Club. The Curling Club is pleased with the decision and says the 45 parking spots, which would be lost, are crucial to their existence.
To lose over half our parking would definitely result in lost revenue and potentially the closure of the club.
But the city's property committee chair says the decision is disappointing, calling it an overstep by the municipal board.
Conditions specifically to essentially give the veto card to the Granite Curling Club may put this project at serious risk, whether council approves it or not.
And while the municipal board decision is final, Councillor Evan Duncan stresses the city leases the entire property to the Granite.
The ironic part is that they are the leasee, and the City of Winnipeg holds that lease. So the answer is yes, things can change to motivate people.
If there's thinly veiled threats that they're going to do something to our current lease, I would ask the councillor to maybe take a different perspective on that.
Now, the Curling Club says it has offered alternatives to the city of where they could place parking. It says the city owns property on both the east and west sides of the building, and they've suggested those 2 spots.
Jeff, does this decision set a precedent?
Councillor Evan Duncan thinks so. He's worried about that. He says it sets a dangerous precedent when the city has to make deals with leases of properties the city owns. But the municipal board denies that in its decision. It says that this is a unique one. This is a relationship between the city and the Curling Club, which looks after a heritage asset.
All right, thanks for this, Jeff. Well, it's about to look a whole lot more festive in downtown Winnipeg. We are just moments away from the annual tree lighting at City Hall, which is where we find CTV's Colleen Brady standing by live. So, Colleen, how are things going over there?
Well, I'm surrounded by many of my new closest friends here. It's fabulous. Always such a wonderful night to be able to flick the switch on this beautiful Christmas tree. I'm joined by Mayor Scott Gillingham, his lovely wife Marla Gillingham, members of City Council, Police Chief Gene Bowers, nice to see you, and we have the Christmas cheer board. Many folks here all gathered for one thing, to light up this big, beautiful tree. It's 50 feet tall. It's adorned with more than 64,000 LED lights and 9,000 decorations. Now, it's been a wonderful week to be a Winnipegger, Mayor Gillingham. Of course, we've had the Grey Cup Festival, the big Grey Cup yesterday, the fantastic Santa Claus Parade, and now we're here to light this big Christmas tree.
It's been a fun week in Winnipeg, and so I want to thank everyone who's done so much to put on the great events we've enjoyed. And yes, this is a holiday tradition to kind of launch the holiday season, to light the Christmas tree. Great to have you back as well. But I want to let everybody know there's something more to come. In the coming weeks, we need you to stay tuned. We need the children of Winnipeg to help us name our snow plows. So more information coming in the coming weeks. We're going to get you to help us out.
Very exciting. Now, almost as exciting as that is lighting this tree, so why don't we get to it?
That sounds great. Should we do a countdown?
We do. Now we have all these kids here who are here to help light us the tree. Councillor Duncan's children will do the honors, and all the other kids who can get their hands in along with Marla here. So on the count of 3, if everyone can please do a big countdown. So let's get going. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Wonderful. So as I mentioned, Marilee, there are more than 64,000 LED lights lighting up this beautiful tree. It's more than 50 feet tall. And by the way, it weighs almost 10,000 pounds, if you can believe it. Mayor Gillingham, thank you so much for joining us again this year.
It's great to have you. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Looks beautiful, Colleen. We will check back in with you in a little bit throughout the newscast. Let's bring in Daniel Helmerson now and get a first look at our Skywatch evening forecast. You know, sometimes for this tree lighting, we have a little snow falling. Tonight, it's beautiful.
Very, very mild out there, Marilee. Much like the Grey Cup yesterday, this mild mid-November stretch we're on continues. We're going to see more of that over the coming couple days as well. But some precipitation is expected to come in from the Grey Cup winning province of Saskatchewan over the next few days. I'll have more on that as we move through the show. Taking a look outside at downtown Winnipeg right now, 0 out there, wind out of the east-northeast at 8 kilometers per hour. The pressure's rising and the humidity sitting at 56%.
The Bathfitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
A man has died following a vehicle collision Saturday near Selkirk Avenue and Salter Street. Winnipeg police say the collision involved a pickup truck and a 68-year-old pedestrian. On arrival, officers provided first aid to the victim before paramedics arrived. The man was transported to hospital in critical condition. He later succumbed to his injuries. The driver of the truck remained on scene and was cooperative with police. Traffic collision investigators are investigating. Police ask anyone with information, including dash cam video, to call the traffic division or Crime Stoppers. We're getting our first look inside the NDP government's long-promised extended detox center in Point Douglas. Today, members of the media were invited inside the site at 190 Disraeli for a tour. The facility opens into a brightly lit hallway lined by heavy metal doors with sliding locks. It houses 20 sparse concrete rooms with toilets, sinks, video surveillance, and mattresses which are not yet in place.
Methamphetamine is unpredictable both in the initial phases and then that recovery phase. So up to about 40% of people who use methamphetamine will develop some degree of psychosis, and that psychosis can last actually even longer than 72 hours. So it's really that kind of prolonged phase of, I won't even say intoxication, but influence of that drug is what we're trying to accomplish and care for individuals here.
The facility is set to open at the end of the month. Until now, highly intoxicated people could only be detained up to 24 hours. The NDP government passed a law to extend the maximum to 72 hours for people on methamphetamine and other long-lasting drugs. Bernadette Smith, the Minister of Housing, Addictions and Homelessness, says future centers could be opened in other cities as well, such as Brandon and Thompson. The City of Winnipeg's new rules regarding homeless encampments are now in effect. Under the new restrictions, homeless encampments are prohibited close to playgrounds, pools, schools, daycares, care homes, transit shelters, bridges, rail crossings, and other sites deemed unsafe. Mayor Scott Gillingham says bylaw enforcement officers would begin visiting encampments today to transition people into shelters and safer spaces. In late October, the city released a protocol outlining the steps that will be taken to clear encroaching encampments. Some homeless advocates argue the plan doesn't address where those cleared from encampments will be able to go. The province's police watchdog is investigating tonight after it says an officer inadvertently shot their partner over the weekend. The Independent Investigation Unit says it happened Saturday afternoon in Broken Head, Ojibwe Nation. According to the IIU, officers with the Manitoba First Nations Police Service were serving a warrant at a home when they encountered an aggressive dog. One officer tried to shoot the dog, but instead shot another officer. That person was taken to Health Sciences Center to have a bullet removed from his foot. Anyone who witnessed what happened or has more information is asked to get in touch with the IIU. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are Grey Cup champions. They beat the Montreal Alouettes in the CFL's championship game last night.
Last play. Alexander needs a touchdown. Heaving it down the field, into the end zone, deflected, and it falls to the field.
That Hail Mary play for the Alouettes did not pan out, with the Rough Riders winning this game 25-17. The crucial moment for Montreal really came on its previous possession when its backup quarterback fumbled the ball and the Saskatchewan goal line with 3 minutes to go. Rough Riders quarterback Trevor Harris passed for 302 yards and was named Grey Cup MVP. And all the excitement wasn't just on the field. As CTV's Daniel Helmerson shows us, fans from across the country filled the stands at Winnipeg's Princess Auto Stadium.
They don't just show up, they dress up.
Go, Owls, go!
Die-hard fans are the heartbeat of this 9-team football league, and the Grey Cup is a celebration of the truly Canadian sport that unites them all.
It brings Canada together again. I've been to many Grey Cups, and we all can party together and have fun together, but we can joke together and, you know, cheer for our own teams, and Grey Cup is everything.
Sunday's sold-out game in Winnipeg marked the first time Manitoba's capital has hosted the CFL championship in a decade, and fans traveled from coast to coast to take it all in.
I've said 1,000 times, the best party, the best fun you could ever have it. I've been blessed. I've been to Super Bowls. I've been to many of these. There's nothing more fun than this.
For some, experiencing a Grey Cup game in person is like a dream come true.
It means a lot to be here. I've always been going to games with my mom, and we've never went to Grey Cup, so it's pretty important to us.
For others, like Winnipeg's Donna Jean Cron, the game is a reminder of the people who introduced her to Canadian football.
My dad passed away in 2018, so obviously we lived through lots of Ryder good years. He missed the Bomber good years. My mom, she passed away in 2024, so she got to see the Bombers actually win.
And whether you're wearing blue and gold, green and white, or rouge et bleu, it's all Canadians who come out on top.
That's a lot about the community, meeting good people, enjoying a good time. Yeah, everybody's here just to enjoy good CFL football.
It's fantastic. Cannot expect better weather than that. Seriously, it's awesome.
Yes. Daniel Halmerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
It's a big day on Parliament Hill as the Liberals face a crucial confidence vote on its budget.
I will vote yes to avoid an election.
Does the minority government have enough support to avoid triggering a Christmas election? We will explain when we return.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
Canada's inflation rate dropped slightly in October, down 2.2% compared to 2.4% in September. Statistics Canada says falling gas prices and slower growth in grocery prices helped fuel the decline. That contrasted with higher prices for cellular services as well as home and auto insurance. The rate was a bit higher here in Manitoba at 3% compared to 2.9% a month earlier. Turning to the markets now, crude oil lost 9 cents. The Canadian dollar dipped slightly. Gold fell $19. The TSX dropped 250 points. The Dow Jones tumbled 557 points, while the Nasdaq is down 192 points. The Liberals are looking to pass its federal budget tonight, and hours before the vote, we learned they'll be getting support from the Green Party. The government, though, still needs opposition support or some MPs to abstain. CTV's Mike LeCouture has the latest.
Now, the Liberals don't have the votes just yet, but it would seem the numbers are shifting. Here's what we know right now. The Bloc Québécois and their MPs have already indicated that they will vote against this budget. Conservatives have hinted strongly that they will do the same. But the Liberals, by mid-afternoon, did get one more vote on their side.
I will vote yes to avoid an election. I will vote yes in the confidence that the Prime Minister heard my pleas and committed to meeting our legally binding commitments under the Paris Agreement, committing to reconciliation, committing to action for adaptation to protect us from the extreme events we can no longer avoid.
Now, the key here is the NDP and their 7 MPs. They have not indicated just yet which way they will vote, but the math is pretty clear. The government either needs 2 abstentions or one more opposition MP to vote for their budget. If they don't get either of those 2 scenarios, the government could fall because this is a confidence vote. However, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, early today, seemingly confident that he will be getting the votes, saying that this budget is the right one for this time, and he believes that it will pass through Parliament.
What Canadians want is to invest in their country. A confident budget, a budget that moves forward, brings us together from local infrastructure to new ports, new future, more independent, stronger Canada, better Canada for all. And that's the opportunity for parliamentarians to vote today.
Now, all eyes will be on the House of Commons at 6:45 Eastern Time. That is when this vote will happen, and that is when we know if Prime Minister Mark Carney's government will survive. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Prime Minister Mark Carney was in Winnipeg Sunday, taking part in a ceremony marking Louis Riel Day.
Louis Riel's legacy helps to unite a maturing Canada. A Canada that is determined to reconcile with and learn from our history.
The event commemorating the 140th anniversary of the Métis leader's execution was held at St. Boniface Cathedral. Carney and Premier Wab Kinew joined the Manitoba Métis Federation and the national government of the Red River Métis to honor Riel. In the afternoon, Carney and Kinew announced funding for a study on the potential of specialized icebreakers, ice tugs, and research vessels at the Port of Churchill. These are part of the latest nation-building projects referred to the Major Projects Office last week. A Calgary man and his daughter have died after being swept into the ocean by a large wave in California.
The storm that passed through created a large swell that's generated very big waves here at Garrapatta State Beach.
It happened Friday in an area known for rip currents. The local sheriff's office says 39-year-old Yuji Hugh and the girl's mother, who is not being identified, went into the water to try and save their daughter. The girl had been swept into the ocean by waves as high as 6 meters. Both parents were taken to hospital, where Hugh later died. The mother is in stable condition. MPI is making it easier for employers to make sure their drivers have valid licenses. Starting today, you'll be able to get that information online. Businesses and organizations wanting to ensure their employees and volunteers have valid driver's licenses had to get a letter in person from an MPI service center. But now they can use a new online license lookup tool. It shows basic information such as the class of license and any restrictions the driver must follow. To safeguard privacy, MPI says you can't look up people by name, only by their license plate number, and the site won't show any personal information. The tool can be accessed through licenselookup.mpi.mb.ca. Thousands of students will now get nutritious snacks on the weekend thanks to Harvest Manitoba.
So with the support of the province of Manitoba and our donors at Harvest, we're able to continue growing this program and feeding more kids than ever before, 7,000 this school year.
Harvest Manitoba has expanded its School Meals to Go program to include 2,000 new students. The program provides weekend nutrition kits such as milk, fruit, and granola bars to K to 8 students every Friday.
So in addition to the schools that we serve in Winnipeg, we do serve 2 schools in Brandon. We serve as well Joe A. Ross School in Opaskwayak Cree Nation on the other side of the river from the Paw. And we're going to be bringing on board 2 new schools in Thompson, Manitoba this year.
Harvest Manitoba says 21 schools in the province are enrolled in the program. The nonprofit says the program is important to help young children and families thrive.
Now when I think about it, I might want to be a professional player when I grow up.
And there's no better time to start than the present. How these kids got the chance to train with the best of the best when we return.
And above seasonal temperatures are expected to last throughout the rest of the week. I'll have your complete Skywatch evening forecast coming up.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
The giant Christmas tree at City Hall is once again heralding in the season. Let's check back in with CTV's Colleen Brady, who just helped flip the switch a short time ago. Colleen, looking very Christmassy over there tonight.
It is rather festive around here, isn't it? It is such a beautiful tree. It's a little noisy down here. If you'll just... Well, on cue. There we go. Well, we're working with it. Live TV. Now, I'm joined by Shauna Bell with the Christmas Cheer Board. Shauna, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having us here tonight, Colleen. This is such a wonderful night to be a part of everything with City Hall and seeing this beautiful tree get lit in front of everyone, in front of such a great crowd. And the weather is fantastic, too.
That worked out pretty well, didn't it? Well, Shauna, of course, it was a big day for the Christmas Cheer Board. You kicked off the campaign for the season, also the Smile Cookie campaign.
That's right. So this is the second year we're working with Tim Hortons, and we're able to get cookies out into the community. So if people want to support us through purchasing a Smile cookie, all they have to do is go to the ChristmasCheerboard.ca website. If they purchase bulk orders, so that's like 2 dozen or more, our wonderful volunteers will come and deliver them right to their door. So anybody who wants to help us out that way, or they can go to the store and just purchase an individual one as well.
It's a very tasty way to help out, Shauna. It really is. Now, but also, of course, it is always getting a little bit more challenging, isn't it, to make ends meet? So it's always important to try to help out if you can, or if somebody needs support, perhaps, what can they do?
So we really encourage folks, if they're in need, to reach out to us at our application line. That's 204-989-5683. Get their application in. As you may know, it's very, very busy those first few weeks that we're open. Later in December, or at the beginning of December rather, we'll be open until 8 p.m. and we'll be open 7 days a week. So there'll be plenty of time to get that application in for a hamper if they haven't already done so. We want everybody to have a real happy holiday this season.
Absolutely. And Sean, I'll ask you quickly, of course, folks want to help out too. If they want to do that, how can they help?
So it's very hard this year, just with the cost of things having gone up so significantly. So we appreciate every little bit someone's able to give to us. If they can reach out to ChristmasCheerboard.ca, donate online, or they can come and visit us at 133 Paramount Road, and we'd be happy to see them and wish them a happy holidays.
That's great. Shauna Bell, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Colleen. Happy holidays.
Same to you.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
All right, let's bring in Daniel Helmerson now and get a first look at a complete look at our Skywatch forecast. We had a great weekend forecast, and we started the work week off just as good.
Yeah, the Santa Claus parade, of course, the Grey Cup festivities, and Monday. What a great Monday for weather here in Winnipeg. Nice and mild, and we're going to see more of that as we move into Tuesday as well, just over the border in northwest Ontario. Very light winds here in Manitoba as well. Taking a look over starting tonight, you can see the system developing above Saskatchewan. It kind of looks like a monster there, and it's slowly going to make its way over the border into Manitoba. So up in northwestern Manitoba, you could see some flurries develop later tonight, and in the southwest in Brandon, surrounding area, there is a chance of some freezing rain, maybe a little bit of snow, a little bit of everything over the next 24 hours or so. That's Tuesday evening. Now here in Winnipeg, it is expected to miss us and maybe hit our friends in Ontario a little bit. Up north, though, a little more snowfall expected over the next couple of days as we move into Wednesday. That's when we could see another system move, and Wednesday night is when we could see some precipitation here in Manitoba, whether that's a little bit of rain, freezing rain, or snow flurries right here in Winnipeg. So keep an eye out for that over the coming days. But tonight, -5 here in Winnipeg. It's going to feel a little closer to -10 with the wind chill. Few clouds in the sky with those winds out of the southeast. The wind is going to pick up a little bit later tomorrow, but waking up to about -3, mainly cloudy, wind out of the south at 10, and then picking up to 20 kilometers per hour in the afternoon under a mix of sun and cloud, and a high of 4, of course, still above seasonal temperatures for mid-November. And taking a look around the province tonight, up north, -7 in Churchill under bit of cloudy sky, chance of some precipitation there, and much of the rest of the region. Tomorrow, though, the whole region should see light snow throughout the day. 2 to 5 centimeters expected in the northwest, dipping down to -4 in Flin Flon, -10 up in Lynn Lake tonight. And Lynn Lake's right where we saw that monster coming over the border, so expected to see snow throughout the night into tomorrow as well throughout much of the region. In the southwest, in Brandon and surrounding area, -5 tonight under mainly cloudy skies. Swan River could see a little bit of precipitation, and tomorrow mainly cloudy in the south. Chance of a bit more precipitation as we move a little further north. Here in Winnipeg and the surrounding area, nighttime dipping down to between -6, -10 out in Pinawa. Tomorrow, though, mix of sun and cloud throughout the region, temperatures ranging from 2 to 4 degrees, and just over the border in northwest Ontario, Fort Francis, I'm so sorry, I'll move -8 and -9 tonight, and lots of sunshine tomorrow, highs between 0 and 2. And our first Skywatch pick of the day, this one comes from Christine out in St. Norbert. Beautiful shot there of a glowing sky. And our second one, love this, from Dwayne up in Norway House. You can see the frost on the trees and that bright glaring sun. You keep those pictures coming, send them to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Up-and-coming football fans got a chance to meet their heroes in Winnipeg Saturday.
Now when I think about it, I might want to be a professional player when I grow up.
Why not? The CFL PA Kids Camp took place at Winnipeg Soccer Federation South on the University of Manitoba campus. About 150 kids ran drills, practiced, and connected with current CFL players, all part of an effort to grow the game and make it more inclusive.
Good job, good job, good job. But we bring our players to the community, right? And that's what's so important. We want to grow football in this country. We want to make sure that our players are accessible to the parents and to the kids, right? And that's ultimately what's going to grow this game, so we make sure that our player reps are available.
David Mackey says the players volunteer their time because they love giving back to the community. He hopes events like this inspire the next generation of football fans. Festive sights, sounds, Santa, and of course smiles were the order of the day Saturday in downtown Winnipeg. The Manitoba Hydro Santa Claus Parade made its way along Portage Avenue to Memorial Boulevard, along with the jolly old elf, whose sleigh boasted some new lights this year. The Grey Cup was a major attraction. The CFL's cheer team also was on hand to wow the thousands of spectators in attendance. This year's edition included a total of 70 floats versus just 59 last year. And if you couldn't make it down to see it for yourself, or you'd like to see it again, we have a live stream from the parade available up on our website. Just head to ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. A troubling warning in the country's fight against cervical cancer. Officials say the numbers are moving in the wrong direction. We'll have more on this next in Medical Watch. Today marks the start of week 3 of our Hero in You campaign, a month-long effort to fill every available blood donation appointment in our city and raise awareness about the importance of donating blood. And today, we want to extend that awareness to stem cells. For many blood cancer patients and others, the only cure and path to survival is stem cells. But the registry lacks ethnic diversity, leaving many Canadians with little chance of ever finding a match. My guest today found that out the hard way. In 2014, Mai Duong learned despite there being 25 million donors on the registry, not one was a match for her. And she joins me now to share her story with us. Mai, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know your challenges finding a match really centered around the fact that you're Vietnamese. Of the registered stem cell donors in Canada, how many are Asian?
Not a lot, because the majority of the stem cell registry in Canada is not as diverse as we would want it. So I believe that it's 65% are Caucasian, and the rest is mixed race, it's Asians, and it's blacks, it's all those other ethnicities. In my case, I really needed to find a Vietnamese donor, which was a needle in a haystack. That was not possible.
Yeah, how much of a blow was that to you, as you're fighting for your life, realizing that your odds of finding a match were extremely low?
I think that was the hardest part of my cancer journey, because when I was told, it was a relapse. So I relapsed, and before that, I had to end my pregnancy because I needed to start chemotherapy as soon as possible. And that was a huge blow. But knowing this time that I needed to rely on somebody else to cure me, and no one was compatible with me because I'm Vietnamese, I think it was the worst part of my cancer journey.
You did not give up, though. You fought to survive and actually launched a national campaign asking people of Asian descent to get swabbed in hopes they could save your life. What was the outcome of that effort?
The outcome was really spectacular, because I was fortunate enough to be in the marketing industry, I would say. And so my message really propelled, and a lot of Asians and non-Asians decided to step up and swab. And up to now, we know that 5 people got matched because of this campaign that I launched 11 years ago. And I'm here today because I got a transplant and I'm cured.
You've since made good on a pledge that if you survived, you were going to give back and help others. You co-founded an organization called Swab the World. Tell us a bit about it and the impact it's having.
So Swab the World was really based on my life. I knew how difficult it was, and I knew how distressed I was when I was told, listen, you have a deadline of 2 months. You have no one that is compatible with you. And so I took my knowledge of being a sick patient, and I wanted to use that same model to recruit more donors from different ethnic backgrounds. So we're doing education and recruitment in different universities throughout Canada, and we want also to help patients. And so we do national campaigns for every patient that we encounter to make sure that there's more representativity in the stem cell registry in Canada.
How easy is it to be a stem cell donor?
It's quite easy. The thing is, nobody knows what it is, and you have to be between the age of 17 to 35. You swab the inside of your cheeks. So you register online, and then Canadian Blood Services will send you the swabbing kit to your home. So the test can be done at home, or you can go through different universities, but it starts with a swab kit. So you swab the inside of your cheeks. That is done 5 minutes, I would say, and that means that you're potentially lifesavers.
Well, Mai, I want to thank you for sharing your story with us as part of this month's Hero in You campaign.
Thank you so much.
Now, we are asking you to be a hero this month and donate blood. And for those eligible, you can also change lives by registering to be a stem cell donor. You can do that online at blood.ca, where you can also book an appointment to donate blood this month. We set a goal to fill 1,236 blood donation appointments in November. And tonight, I'm so happy to say 916 of those appointments have now been filled or booked. 320, though, are still available. So if you haven't yet made an appointment, please do so. And make sure you take a selfie or a photo in front of the CTV Hero in You banner at Canadian Blood Services and share it on X using the hashtag CTVWPGHero. Or you can email it to us. Health officials are warning of several potential measles exposures here in Winnipeg. They include the YMCA Westwood on Portage Avenue West and Nakamura Judo on McPhillip Street November 6th. CF Polo Park Mall the following day between 4:30 and 8:30 p.m. And on on November 8th, Landmark Cinema at Grant Park Mall from 5:45 p.m. to nearly 1 in the morning. And finally, the minor injury in illness clinic on Corden Avenue on November 12th. Anyone who was at any of these locations is asked to monitor for symptoms for about 3 weeks and to check their immunization history. A Canadian cancer statistics report says the country may not reach its goal of eliminating cervical cancer by 2040. Data published by the Canadian Cancer Statistics Advisory Committee shows after decades of progress on lowering cervical cancer rates, there's been a concerning plateau since 2005. Cervical cancer is caused by the human papillomavirus. The Canadian Cancer Society says the stagnant progress in reducing the disease is likely due to lower HPV vaccination rates, a decline in the rate of people getting screened, and gaps in follow-up care. A new study shows women eating ultra-processed foods could be putting themselves at a higher risk of cancer. The study shows a link between the foods and the development of precancerous colorectal growths in women under 50. Those growths can later turn into cancer. The study from JAMA Oncology included data from nearly 30,000 women. Diets high in sugar and artificial sweeteners were most linked to higher rates of a condition which is more likely to turn into cancer. That was followed by diets high in sauces, spreads, and condiments.
Medical Watch is brought to you by Manukin Koster Denture Clinic.
We've got an update now for you about a story we brought you a little earlier. Just a short time ago, the Liberal minority government managed to get the votes it needed to pass the federal budget and avoid an early election.
Nays pour 170, 170. Nays contre 168, 163. Je déclare la motion
It was a narrow confidence vote. Green leader Elizabeth May supported the budget. 4 other opposition MPs abstained. 2 New Democrats and 2 Conservatives. The Liberals are just 2 seats shy of the majority they needed to pass the budget on their own. Had the vote failed, Canadians would have been sent back to the polls just months after electing this government in April. Well, get ready to get weird with the weirdest of them all. We'll tell you when Weird Al Yankovic is scheduled to stop in our city next in Spotlight.
I just smiled at him and I turned the other cheek.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Christmas with Johnny Riel.
A few upcoming shows to tell you about tonight, and we'll start with the weirdest. Weird Al is making a stop at the Canada Life Centre on August 30th during his upcoming North American tour. The pop culture icon is known for his parodies and mega hits, having won 5 Grammy Awards and earning a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The bigger and weirder 2026 tour kicks off this spring in the U.S. before going north of the border. Tickets go on sale this Friday at livenation.com. And Olympians will soon be taking to the ice in Winnipeg. The 2026 Stars on Ice Tour is set for May 6th at Canada Life Centre. The show intends to celebrate Olympic figure skating by bringing together some of the country's most celebrated skaters. This year's cast includes Elvis Stojko, a 2-time Olympic silver medalist and 3-time world champion. Also performing will be Piper Zill and Paul Poirier, 2-time Olympians and 4-time Canadian dance champions. Tickets go on sale this Friday on Ticketmaster.ca. And Alan Doyle, the lead singer of Great Big Sea, will be washing ashore for another show in our city. He just played the Convention Center Friday night as part of the Grey Cup Festival concert series. Doyle is, of course, well known for his time with Great Big Sea, but he's now released 4 full-length solo albums, including his latest, Welcome Home. He'll be performing songs from this album and much more on March 18th at the Centennial Concert Hall. Tickets for the show go on sale this Friday through centennialconcerthall.com. And a live-action version of the hit Disney movie Moana is hitting theaters next summer, and today we're getting our first look at the film. As I mentioned, this is the first trailer for the live-action adaptation of Moana. It stars Catherine Lagaia as Moana, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson reprises his role as the demigod Maui. The movie is set to hit theaters on July 10th. And the latest entry in a heist movie franchise stole #1 at the weekend box office.
In the world of magic, everything that disappears reappears. Woo! It is very good to be back.
Now You See Me, Now You Don't is the 3rd film in the Now You See Me franchise. It debuted with $21.3 million US across North America. The new take on The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell, opened in 2nd place with $17 million in ticket sales, while Predator: Badlands fell to 3rd with its $13 million in its 2nd weekend. And start off the week with some great entertainment at 7 at St. Denis Medical and Stumble. The Voice follows at 8. The Weakest Link is on at 9. And Tracker wraps things up at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
It's back and as bright as ever. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take you back downtown where the holiday season is officially being ushered in. That's next.
Women's clothing provided by R.W. & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Well, temperatures remaining above seasonal for this time of year with a high of 4 today. a little below that record back in 2001 at 13.5. And our long-range forecast more of the same, above seasonal temperatures throughout the rest of the week.
I like it.
Me too.
Well, if you are driving down Main Street tonight, you really can't miss this. Tonight, the switch was flipped, lighting the massive, I mean massive Christmas tree over at City Hall, marking the start of another holiday season. Colleen, how's it going over there?
It's very festive, and as you mentioned, this tree is massive. And folks, if you can make the drive or just otherwise come down to City Hall, you really should. It really is such a spectacular tree. It's always such a treat for us to take part in lighting the tree with the mayor and everyone down here at City Hall.
3, 2, 1.
Wonderful.